Rolling, 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 and we're live.
What is up, everybody?
What's up, everyone? It's Coach Christian and my
Coach
man.
Robert.
Oh, man, it's my favorite coach ever. It's Coach Robert right here. And welcome to another episode of Real Fitness Talk, where we're going to talk to you about what, Robert?
Evolving.
And
Just like a Pokemon.
Woo! Throw that catchy
Got
ball,
it.
that
I don't-
Pokeball. I'm sorry.
okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about. We're talking about Pokemon. I'm like, I don't even get Pokemon. No, but look, guys, we're talking to you about evolution. We're talking to you about adaptation. Look, how many of you guys need to adapt to the new, right? How many of you have been comfortable and now you're uncomfortable because your routine is shaking up? But guess what? With your routine, you don't have a new normal. You don't have new habits. You just have worse habits because things are shaking up and you're not willing to adapt. You're not willing to change. And it's not that you're not willing.
The excuse that you're waiting for your routine. And you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Damn it. All right, let's see. Right here. Why is it so low? Can you hear me? No? Maybe so?
You gotta speak with your gut.
I gotta
Robert.
speak. All right, now, yeah. I guess I gotta have the mic a little bit closer. But are you making the excuse that you're waiting for your old routine to come back? Don't wait. Don't do that.
Look, guys, the big thing is routine is key. All right, you're only a product of your habits. You actually are your habits. All right, so I want you guys to realize that you are what you do every single day. So what are you doing every single day right now? Because look, I have felt very crappy in my past, and what I mean by that is my habits were crap. I was crap. What I ate was crap. What I thought was crap, and naturally, I found myself feeling like crap throughout the days.
Yeah,
right, like I'm in
it's a-
big surprise. But at the end of the day, you got to realize if you change what you do, you change how you feel. So how are you feeling right now? What are you doing every day? If you're feeling negative, I don't want you guys to think that you are negative or that you are what you're thinking, but you need to realize you are your habits. So what are you doing? So if you feel like crap, it's probably because you've done crap for the past 5 days or 3 days. It's not a lifetime.
Yeah,
So
I
we
mean,
need to realize that. We need to take it day by day, right?
Exactly. Here's my thing. And Christian and myself, we've taken this quarantine, this whole situation. It hit us hard at first. It was like a big slap in the face. Like, hey, guess what? You're not going to be around your clients, your members, and training them and coaching them and keeping them motivated. So our motivation took a hit too. So don't think you're the only one that you're feeling like, oh, the world is against me. The world is, it's, I get it. We get it. We are there. We're human too. We understand your situation. And like for me, it was kind of like, because as coaches, we get excited. We love being around you. We love coaching, just getting people just motivated, just seeing the action behind fitness and there's and the situation for us has been what I could say, heartbreaking.
It's been a cock block, guys. It's been a big fitness cock block, all right, for a lack of a better term.
For a lack of a better term, but yes, it's been hard, and oh man, it's just been. But here's the thing, we had to like take a pause, catch our breath, and be like, all right, this is my new routine. This is my new everything. Because trust me, we're like, all right, any day now, we're gonna get back into the gym. We're gonna be coaching people, but reality set in, and the situation is that obviously this is lasting a lot longer than we had hoped to. Because originally we were supposed to be open by now. Majority of the gyms, April 12th. That was the current goal.
I mean, originally we were never supposed to close down, right?
Yeah,
So at
exactly.
the end of the day, it's we're just adapting day by day.
Yeah. So we were talking to one of the other coaches, Christian Butler, and he had said something that resonated, is that too many people are waiting for their old routines to get back into place. You know, when it comes to their work, when it comes to their fitness, when it comes to their lifestyle and everything. But here's the big thing. You should not wait. Don't make that excuse for yourself, all right? I understand the temptation is like, well, I'll just wait. I'll get past this little hurdle and wait and I'll get. But here's the problem. If you start waiting too long, then you're allowing yourself to go back on those results, all that hard work that you put in already. So don't allow yourselves. It's going to be different and it's going to be difficult, all right? But here's the also thing that a lot of people aren't touching base on. For a lot of you, ourselves included, the aftermath of this quarantine, this situation, guess what? It might not be the same. Your routine might not ever go back to the same thing. This is I'm addressing the elephant in the room.
Let's address it.
Let's address it at all. For a lot of people, for us coaches, for people in their jobs, their family, just the way their life is being run is going to be completely different after this. All right. So I rather let it be known like, hey, guess what? This situation that you're going through right now might be, I wouldn't say the normal thing, but it's going to be different from what you're used to. So if you're waiting for that normal routine to come back, you have to understand. For a few it will, but for a lot it might not come back. So you have to put that in perspective.
Let's talk about it. Home Depot. You can walk in there right now, right? Like, I mean, we're on quarantine. If you check my imaginary watch yet again,
I got a
waiting for things to come back on what clock, on what watch, right? Like, it's imaginary.
Yeah,
but you can go into Home Depot. You can go into a grocery store. You can go into an essential business. Are you essential or are you not essential? If you're essential, you're at risk. If you're not essential, you're broke, right? So there's a lot of big problems going on right now. And the truth is that our gyms are like, we're talking our business, okay? We're not talking your business, your job, your lifestyle. We can only speak for what we're an authority in. And the truth is, the gyms are not going to open up the same way. 24-hour fitness.
They're almost bankrupt right now.
Literally, they're thinking about going bankrupt. Now, that's a business move because they're not bringing in enough revenue. But why aren't they bringing enough revenue? Because they can't keep their gym clean enough, right? Like, they can't fight the coronavirus. They can't fight what's going on. So how many of you are struggling to fight? The truth is, I got this great advice at a very young age. And it was from my pops. It was from my dad. And he told me, hey, if it wasn't for society, it would be hunters versus food, right? And there would be lions roaming around and there would be dinosaurs, whatever it is you want to think of.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, not everyone would be a hunter. Most people would end up being food. And I want you guys to realize your excuses are going to make you food. Like, your excuses are going to make you obsolete, outdated.
And we don't mean literal food. We just mean the situation too.
You know what? You might be food for the government. Like, I hate to be the person to bring it up, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to conflict it. And I know Robert doesn't say nothing because he's a Marine and he knows the government and he knows what's going on, but he's ready. He's ready. Look, and I'm going to give
I ain't no food.
I'm going to give him a second for his opinion.
Yeah.
And look, for many of you that feel like, I'm not food, I'm not this.
No, that's good.
It's time
You
to
should
fight.
be thinking- yeah,
It's time
you
to
should think
fight,
that way.
baby. It's time to not make an excuse because, look, people that are making excuses, waiting for things to get back to normal, waiting for the routine to go back, waiting for the gym to open and get back, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Where things are going to have to change. When you come back to the gym, we're going to be more precautious with how we clean everything, how we service people. But how are you going to be cautious about how you serve in your own life? Whether it's financial or physical or mental or spiritual, how are you struggling right now? Maybe it's all the four that I've listed.
Yeah.
But the truth is that you guys got to realize, how are you going to adapt? How are you going to evolve?
Here's one. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, bro, I'm empowering you to do it.
Here's one thing that people have not realized, if they have not realized yet, that there is a few of you that are working from home right now. And I was having this talk with one of my old coworkers from an old job of mine, and he's like, people don't realize that their jobs that are now working from home is going to be their new permanent location. Yeah, think about that. So the companies are going to look at this way, all right, and I know we're kind of going a little bit away from fitness, just a little bit, and it's kind of like, because companies are going to realize, like, oh, they can do their job from home and still make that same amount of whatever profit that we need from them, or revenue,
Revenue,
whatever
money
the
coming
case may be,
in,
whatever your job may be.
whatever your terminology is.
And they're going to realize, like, why do we need this building that could hold 100 people, 2,000, whatever the case may be, when they could do all their jobs from home? So for those that are like, I can't wait just to get back into my office to have that human interaction, for a lot, that's not going to be the case. Companies are going to realize, like, I don't need the overhead to charge build the office when I could just work.
And the government is encouraging me not to open up. Right?
So
because
you have
everything's
to realize that too. That's a big question mark that people have not realized that. Also, I think another big thing that's taking a change is the way education is being worked. People are realizing, like, wait, my children can learn from a computer at home? There's a reason why online college exists. Now it's just taking in real fruition what it let's say even 10 years ago should have been. All right. I feel like there's going to be a lot of colleges that are going to realize like, whoa, I could just have my professors and or teachers teach from online Zoom or whatever new platform that might be.
Or you know what? Even on a deeper level, there's going to be a certain percentage of teachers who do great at teaching online. And they're going to move fully online. And now they're going to be the competition for people that are working in the schools or working at the business. And at the end of the day, if the media is constantly promoting that we shouldn't interact, we shouldn't social gather, and that we need to not socialize.
This whole situation for us, for gym society, is a huge tipping point on being, unfortunately, antisocial. I'm a very social person. Most coaches are.
I mean, high five, right? Woo!
Don't worry, wash your hands.
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep this over here. Just not going to touch it anymore. It's going to be over here. I'm just kidding.
And so a lot of people that are social and they know they're stuck at home, they're working from home or not working from home, they're going to realize that they're not going to go back to that same routine. So let me ask you this, all right, who's watching right now. What happens if your job that you're doing from home becomes your new permanent location? What then? Now that's what I'm trying to make people realize, like, oh, damn, my old routine's not coming back.
My life is changing.
My life is changing.
Permanently.
I got to be stuck at home. I got to be stuck home with my kids.
And you have to be productive.
And I still have to be productive. So that's
you have no excuses to make. You're expected to do more because businesses are hurting.
Yeah.
Because your company is hurting. Because people are hurting. You're expected to do more. When in reality, you're put in a position to do less.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you
Try
going
to
to
bring
do?
the mic a little bit higher so they can
Yeah,
hear
you know, woo! Yeah, you guys hear me now, right? All right, no, other than that, look, it seems like we're about right. But what I want to really address is, guys, you got to adapt. You guys got to evolve, all right? And look, when we talk about adaptation, let's talk about boot camp. Most of you watching have probably been in the session with us before or not, or else you probably wouldn't have listened to us 10, 15 minutes rant right now. But at the end of the day, what happens in boot camp? We got 30 people in here. We got 30 different injuries. Every 30 minutes, different backgrounds, different eating habits, different mindsets, different sources of motivation. But at the end of the day, we can provide a source of fitness, exercise, motivation, health, reliability, right? Like reliability. Yeah. It doesn't matter what time you come in at. You're going to get a reliable coach that is going to be there and that is going to service you. Mm-hmm. So how can you be more reliable in your own life? What is it that you're waiting? I'm sorry, I keep cutting Robert off, but
you're good.
How is it that you guys need to come back? What is it that you need to be more reliable on? What is it that you've been waiting? Like, here's a quick truth. Think about your life before quarantine. What were the things you were proud of? And now, what are you not proud of? What did you stop doing that you're ashamed of?
And what are you proud of now?
And exactly.
You also got to look at the positive of these things.
And I want you guys to point out the positive. But our big problem here is that most people would sit here and look at it and they would answer like, I'm not proud of anything. You know what? I haven't exercised. I've been less productive at work. I've been more negative in my mind. I've been eating crappier foods. I've been drinking less water. I've been drinking more alcohol. Like, come on. If you can't be real with yourself and you can't identify what you've been wrong at, how can you ever expect to be better? Yeah. So right now, I need you to evolve. I need you to adapt. I need you to be real.
It's time to make a new routine.
What are you doing wrong? What are you doing that feels good, but that is horrible for you? What are you doing that makes you excited? That releases dopamine and endorphins. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't
All
wait.
you're doing is waiting. Waiting is creating another excuse.
Woo, I love that. Waiting is creating for a moment that's too late.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you're
waiting.
waiting.
Let's say you do wait. Let's say the worst case, this thing goes on for a longer time. That's a long time. Those are months. Because remember, this started since beginning of the year.
I mean, do you remember the movie Bubble Boy?
Yeah.
Like, don't we laugh at Bubble Boy? Like, you guys remember the movie Bubble Boy, right? Come on.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
90. Yeah, come on, guys. Like the 90s. Like, you know. Like, if people are watching this 20 years from now, they're going to be like, what the hell is Bubble Boy, right? But you guys know Bubble Boy.
Or the John Travolta one.
All right? Or the John Travolta version.
Yeah,
but,
that's
at
for
the,
older crowd.
but at the end of the day, you got to remember, germs and actually avoiding those germs and avoiding the bad led to worse because you never got exposed to reality. We're exposing you to reality. All right? Look, there's no amount of excuses that is going to validate what's going on. All right? There's no news station that is going to make you feel better about the situation at hand. It is up to you.
Take your precautions. You have to. All right? We're not saying like, hey, take off your mask, none of that. What we're saying is that you have to you have to pause, take that breath, like I said, get yourself in that new routine. If you got to write it down, if you got to like visualize it, all right? If you're like, whoa, damn, I've gained like 20 pounds since this quarantine started, because I know there are people and they've told me like I've gained weight, you know? Look at that dress, look at that suit that you've been wanting to wear when you first started, because you have to remember, when you start your fitness journey, you have a goal, you have a purpose. There is a reason why you started, why you stepped into those doors, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and realize, like, am I going to allow this situation to dictate my goals? Absolutely not. I have a reason why I'm going to get started. And guess what, girl, boy, if that bikini don't fit, if those shorts don't fit, it's time to make a change. It's time to put away that wine bottle.
What are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of?
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy myself a good glass of wine. But am I doing it every single night? No.
It's about what makes you feel good versus what makes you feel bad. Look, a glass of wine. I love that we're on that topic. We mainly coach mothers. We mainly coach moms. We would say 80% of people that sign up are a stay-at-home mom or a working mom or a mom of some sort. Moms typically
And
love,
teachers.
and yet again, and most teachers end up being mothers, you know, at the end of the day. So, or fathers, but
Yeah.
beyond that, they care about their own health and they care about the health of others, and they realize, hey, I love a good drink, but I
need to
can't.
relax. And don't get me wrong. Like I
I
said,
need to relax.
we fall back on
Key.
that.
But what do you need to really do? You need to relax. That's the key word. There's nothing wrong with wanting to relax.
Have you, like, when I tell myself, like, all right, I'm going to drink this glass of wine, before I do it, I got to ask myself, did I earn that glass of wine? Did I put in my time? Did I put in my work? I have to.
That stings.
It hurts.
It
and
hurts.
if I know, and I'm looking at, I'm like I said, I like myself a good glass of wine, and I'm like, I didn't earn it this week.
I feel bad.
Motivation comes and goes. Self-discipline is forever.
Forever.
You have to remember that. Motivation comes and goes. We as coaches can motivate you. As trainers, we can motivate you. But here's the thing. That motivation can only go so far if you don't have the self-discipline to put in that work. I have 3 golden rules every morning that I wake up. There's this self-discipline. I always wake my bed. I never hit snooze on my alarm. And I take a cold shower. Now, you don't have to do that cold shower, but there's 3 main things that I always do. There's a self-discipline to that, all right? And the reason why I do that is because I already completed 3 goals before the day even started. Trust me, that cold shower, boom, I'm awake. I am awake.
He doesn't play. He comes in at 5 a.m. in the morning ready for you guys.
I'm running around. I'm loud. I got the energy. I ain't even had coffee yet, or any caffeine for that
At
matter.
all. And
I've had my
I will
cold
vouch
shower.
for that. I look at him like he's fucking crazy. I mean, excuse my language, but at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, you had some coffee. I didn't realize Starbucks was open at 4 a.m. in the morning. He's like, no. I've had nothing. It's preparation. It's about the work you're willing to put in. It's about the action that you're willing to take. And you know what? Like, I really want to point that out. Robert has been an amazing coach in that sense. I feel like most of the coaches you guys have probably worked with have been incredible, at least if they're with the Fit Body team. But what are you doing to be above and beyond? We address the realness with each other. We talk about how we're being held back. We realize that this quarantine is making us be lazier. We realize that this quarantine is making us wake up later. We realize that this quarantine is making us change our routine. But you know what's not changing is our accountability. All right, so we're talking about adapting and evolution. But who are you accountable to? Who are you talking to? And if you notice, Robert didn't admit to being perfect, nor did I. I mean, actually, I think we shared more struggles than we did talk about perfection. So at the end of the day, what are your struggles? Who are you sharing that struggle with? Because I'm telling you, if I'm hurting.
I ate like 20 donut holes today.
Oh my gosh. Like,
he knows.
I don't even want to talk about it. It pisses me off. What kind of gym you show up to? And they're like, hey guys, welcome
Don't
to
get
work.
me wrong. Donuts are my weakness. We all have our weaknesses.
Why the hell do we have donut holes here?
There's a reason they do not come into my house. There's a reason why for that. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed them. But guess what? I got to run 6 miles after this. After this is recorded, I got to run 6 miles to burn those bad boy off. Yup.
You know, he put them in front of my face. Like, legit, he ate one. And he was like, hey, Coach Christian, here you go.
I am guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
When I ate one, because I did eat one, it was a couple hours later.
He ate a couple.
But I ate like 3.
Don't lie.
It's about 125 calories. Are you tracking your macros? Are you tracking your calories?
I didn't track them today.
I need you to be real with yourself. I ate them, but I tracked them. If you eating it, but you ain't tracking it, you bullshitting. All right? Excuse my language yet again, but today. I got to be real
like I
with
said,
you.
We're human.
At the end of the day, though, he's planning to work it off. So, look, we're talking about donut holes. It's not the ideal thing to bring into a gym. It was brought in. We ate them. Is it breaking us? Yeah. Does it seem like we're breaking it? Like it's breaking us? Like we're joking around with each other. we're laughing about donuts.
Yeah.
Most of y'all cry about it. Like you'll realize that, right? Like most of you come to us crying.
If you listen to episode 2, we touched a very interesting subject when it came to your nutrition, your relationship with it, and I enjoyed my donut. Like he said, like we ate them. Okay, cool. I move on. I move forward. I don't look back and break my entire routine of eating, nutrition, and all that for one day. Guess what? That was my cheat meal for the month, really. And guess what? Now I gotta pay for it. I gotta put in that dollar, all right? And by dollars, I mean miles of work and sweat. I tell people, if you cheat, it's fine. You're only human, okay? We're gonna, if the temptation is in front of us, like today, perfect example.
Wasn't a choice.
It was, I mean, a little bit it was, but there's only so much that the environment, your environment does take into consideration. All right. So if you know, and you know who you are, if you have that bottles of wine, if you have those snacks, if you have those fast food in your home, if it's in front of you, you're only preparing yourself for destruction. All right. Preparation goes both ways. Preparation for success and preparation for loss. What are you preparing for? Are you preparing to win towards your goals, or are you preparing to destroy your goals? Because like I said, we can't hold the majority of our clients, our members that we train and coach. We can only hold their hands for 30 minutes here, but 23 hours and 30 minutes of the rest of the day is on them. All right. And guess what? We love our members. All right. They show us, they send us sweaty selfies after they finish their workouts. We see them, they're drenched. All right. What are you doing? What are you putting in work? All right. If you're stuck at home, you have nothing to do. Guess what? Plan out your day at home. Don't go through the motions. If you know you're stuck 24/7 in your house because you're being a good citizen, you don't want to get sick, whatever the case may be, and you're stuck at home, guess what? Plan what time you're going to wake up. Plan what time you're going to eat. Plan what time you want to read this book that you've been wanting to read. Plan what time you've been wanting to do what specific hobby. Take advantage of your opportunities, all right? Like I said, make a negative into a positive. You are the master of your destiny, all right? We can control what we can control. What is outside of that is essentially
the controllables.
The uncontrollables, exactly.
So look, I want to really go ahead and hit you guys with this. What are you doing right now that's going to move you forward? Stop feeling bad about yourself. Stop making excuses. Thank you. Clear.
Clear.
Focused. Now, keep in mind, Robert's been a Marine. I mean, for how long now?
Oh, man.
10 years, bro? 8 years? What?
Like 4 years?
4
Not that
years?
long.
8 years. Just kidding. But look, at the end of the day, my man over here knows what he stands for. What do you stand for? What are you truly waking up for? You know, you're just not doing it. I'm going to tell you this. From my perspective, as a drug addict, as someone that's been to rehab a couple times, and someone that truly struggles with decision making, I want to let you know you're only as strong as your decisions and as your habits. So don't feel bad about feeling crappy. Don't feel bad about thinking about making a bad decision. Just make a better decision each and every day and each and every opportunity that you have. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better.
Yeah.
That's it. If you guys can be better than yesterday, and if you can focus on right now.
It really, the human mind, the human heart is a very interesting thing.
It's a present one.
It's a present one. So for those who do not know, my brother passed away around 2015. Passed away from cancer at the age of 20.
It's young, man.
Young.
So young.
He fought a cancer that should have taken him away within 2 months of his diagnosis. He had months to live. He fought it for almost 2.5 years. And the biggest thing for him, it was just like he smiled. And I know my family knew, whoever seen him knew that he's hurting. But he knew in the back of his mind, and he knew in his heart, that if he didn't smile, it would destroy the family. And, this is the kid that I grew up babysitting. My younger brother, I'm the oldest of 5. He's the second oldest. So as you can imagine, 5 total siblings. It was a huge hit.
Especially as an older brother.
And as the older brother, I just felt helpless. I felt just like destroyed by the situation. Even to this day, it affects me. But on his deathbed, he told me, it's like, do what you want to do with your life. You have the opportunity that I will never have. Do what makes you happy. Go be a Marine. Go be a trainer. Go do whatever you want. If you want to be president, this is this kid who, wiser beyond his years, just told me, do what you want to do with your life. Because guess what? I can't do it. And he's like, but I don't live. Here's the one thing that he told me, though. And within this, what his sound mind could tell me, he's like, I don't live with my life with regret. I live my life the way I wanted to. I may be leaving at a very young age. And that spoke resonance to this day, and it's been almost 5 years. It's crazy to think about that, and this moment of darkness that he could show this light to me. And it's like, Robert, keep going, look forward, and never look back.
Let's
take a quick pause.
Yeah. Guys, Robert really just opened his heart up about his brother. And I got to be honest, I've heard this story, but he doesn't share this often. It's not like he walks in here at 4 a.m. in the morning, really letting that bleed as his source of passion. It's only during probably dark times and times of purpose to where clients need him that he brings it out. And, I really relate to that story. In elementary school, I had this buddy. His name was Chris Mora. By the age of 14, like I said, elementary school, we were 8 years old, 9 years old together. By the age of 14, he died of brain cancer. He ended up having a brain tumor. And I remember visiting him in the we all tried out for the basketball team. We're at Bloomington High School, and the coach was very particular. He was the only one out of all of our friends that made the team. And he couldn't play because he had brain cancer. He ended up finding out, literally a month after making the team. And when I visited him in the hospital, he looked at myself and a lot of other elementary school friends and brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and just family. And he let us know to not be afraid. My last memory of him is smiling and him not being afraid to face what was going head on. This is right after brain surgery. They removed the brain tumor from his brain, and here's him telling us to be positive. 2 weeks later, they found 13 tumors in his body. 13 in different parts of his body, and the brain surgery didn't mean anything at that point. And he ended up dying. I just remember, I hear it in my head. He was the first person I ever heard rap. He goes, "My name is Chris with a capital C. When y'all motherfuckers look at me, just know that I fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name is Chris with a capital C." We were 11, and excuse my language, but I will never forget that moment. And I forever remember that moment that I fly like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. I fly smooth and I sting strong. And life is about hitting back. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you hit back in that time. My brother's been dead for like 15 years. And I say my brother is in a very close friendship. Robert, literally, his brother is dead. And no matter what you're going through, I want you guys to know that we're not BSing you. We're not here to be this limelight, this pedestal, this perfection. We're here to tell you the truth. I know Robert is silent for a reason. It's because he's passionate about what we're, and I can feel that he has something to say, but it's a passion. It's this certain silence that, like I said, when my brother looked at me and he goes, "Don't be sad. Be positive. I'm going to get through this." And he legit died about a week, 2 weeks later. I never forget his positivity, even facing death. What are you facing? What are you going through? Is it really that bad that you got to die like an 11-year-old, 12-year-old at that time? Like I said, maybe I'm exaggerating. He got diagnosed at that time, but he died at 14. How old are you? What have you been through? How far do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself giving up now?
Like for me, it was my whole brother situation was kind of like a revelation in the sense that I've always had a hard work ethic since I was young. You know, I would always like help my dad with working on the car, help my grandpa do like yard work. Like I've always had this constitution of just work for what you want. And then like after my brother had told me just, hey, follow your dreams, do this, do what you want. You know, he knew like for the longest time that I wanted to be a Marine. But my mom would always like tell me, she'd always cry, like, don't do it. You know, just afraid of the worst. And I was what, like 23 around the time he passed away or so, or yeah. And it sparked this just fire of intensity in me that my work ethic just became even more. Not just only in my fitness, but just everything that I did. Like if I was going to go into something, I'm going 100% above. Like this podcast, for instance, like for working out, for running. Like once I set my mind that there's just no stopping me, I am relentless. And why? Because I want to know that if I put my 100% in something, whether I fell or not in it, I don't have regret that I didn't do it. And that's one big thing a lot of people, there's 24 hours in the day. I try to take advantage of every single second as possible. Like you guys beyond seeing this video, you know, the moment I come in here at the gym and like do my online stuff and like try to message my clients and so forth and everything. Outside of that, I'm working on my photography. I'm working my video skills. I'm working on my Photoshop skills. Reading, you know, motivational books, educational books. I'm on top of that exercising. I'm always trying to feed myself with something. I'm trying to keep myself just moving, pushing forward. I'm always studying. I'm always studying about finances, like the stock market. Like me and Christian were talking about this earlier. I'm always looking forward. Why? Because it's my opportunity to do with what I want with my life. And too many people, all right, just throw away that opportunity. They don't take advantage of what they have, which is life. They don't take advantage of 24 hours. I understand. A lot of you have families, have children, have husbands, have wives, they have their situation. But guess what? I have a life too. I have a family too. I got a dog that needs to take care of, that I need to take care of. She don't get fed if I don't feed her. I understand. But guess what? I don't use those excuses to push me forward. If anything, I use that as an excuse that I need to keep pushing forward. It's like I said, either you prepare yourself for success, and whatever the case may be, if you want to be a world-renowned painter, who says you cannot be a world-renowned painter? If you want to be a musician and play for the entire world, who is stopping you? Nobody but yourself. You can achieve with what you want to be. If I want to be, the top podcast in this planet, all right, we're going to get there. But here's the thing. We are putting the work. We are making it happen, all right? What is your goal? Whether it's fitness related, whether it's life related, what is your goal? What is your passion? Because at the end of the day, your passion is what's going to make you happy, all right?
I want to point out even further what bothers you. You can hear it in Robert's voice. What happened with his brother makes him work harder. I remember the last time I seen my friend I was discussing, and he had nothing but gratitude. He looked at me in my eyes, and he was just thankful to see me. And the last words I ever heard him say is that he's going to get through this. And I believe that he did. I believe that the strength that he gave his brother and his sister and his mother and his father and all his friends that watched him pass made other people stronger. If you hear Robert's source of fuel comes from pain. Where's your source of fuel come from? What really, really hurts? I'm not talking embarrassment. I'm not talking shame. I'm not talking guilt. I'm talking straight up life pain. What do you need to face in your life?
We're all humans. We all face pain. We may not know your situation, and I'm opening up about my past and my struggles and so forth. And a lot of you have probably not experienced something like that, and God forbid. But
it's gonna happen eventually, in some way, shape, or form.
In some shape, we all as humans, we are all gonna face.
We all suffer.
We all suffer, but guess what? We all also enjoy life. There's ups, there's downs. It's a roller coaster.
Suffering gives its purpose, right?
Exactly, and we have to realize that my biggest reason that I wanted to start this podcast is because I wanted to be as truthful, as human as possible when it comes to the things besides fitness, all right? We started this I want to talk about mental health, but at the end of the day, we're kind of just we got to be real with these people. We got to show them who we are, what is our struggles, all right? We are not perfect. We've had our ups, we've had our downs,
we do every day.
We put on our pants just the same way you do. Some might do it with a couple of backflips
with
in
their
there.
arms first, right? Crazy. I'm just kidding.
So, basically, just like Christian said, what doesn't make you happy, and what I say is what makes you happy. You have to ask yourself both those questions. I know that, when I started into fitness, I was overweight, 12, 13 years old. I was just maybe 230 pounds overweight. I was not happy with myself. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was in disgust. I was just I shouldn't be this way. I hated the way I looked. I hated being in my own skin. And for a 13-year-old, that's probably not the best thing for anybody, for that matter. And at 13 years, just like, and I was
It's even worse, honestly.
It's worse, you just your self-esteem is just
The
bottom
only thing
rock,
you understand is a 13-year-old just hate if that's what you feel. You haven't had enough time to experience it.
Exactly. And so I just took it upon myself. I promised myself within a year and a half, I will be in shape. I will do whatever it takes to not feel bad in my skin. My mom would come and pick up my backpack. I would bring a change of clothes. So when school was over, so I lived like maybe, I had to say roughly like 5-6 miles away from my school. Maybe a little bit more. It was from like end to end of the city. So my mom would come. She wouldn't pick me up. She would come and pick up my backpack. I would have a change of running clothes. So I would change in the bathroom. So when school was cut off at 3 p.m., I would change in my running clothes. I didn't care, how I looked. Like, I mean, imagine that took a lot of mental fortitude to understand that I'm going to do this. I did this every day. Everybody in my school that waited at the school bus, there was like a school bus stop right there was like at least 100 to 200 kids waiting for the school bus to pick them up, right? And they'd see me and they'd look at me like I'm crazy, like what the hell is this guy doing? And people that I know too, and that would make fun of me for being overweight, they would look at me like, what is this guy doing? Seeing me hand over my backpack to my mom, like, here, I'll see you at the house. And then I take off running. I did that every day for 6 months. Next thing you know, I'm dropping weight. I'm getting in shape. My cross-country coach, he wasn't my coach yet. He looks at me, he's like, do you run home every day? And I'm like, yes, sir, I do. He's like, why? He's like, because I'm trying to get in shape. He's like, why don't you do cross-country? You'll run every day.
You're the perfect fit.
You're the perfect fit.
You just don't fit.
Hey, may he rest in peace. He got hit by a drunk driver.
Oh my gosh!
And like the year after, and so he just
saved your life. Huh? Saved your life.
Man, he got me into man. If for anybody who knows cross country, you're running like 15, 20 plus mile runs, and I was doing this like every month type of runs. So I just got so slim, super lean. And then but here's the thing. I never bought clothes. So I would always wear my baggy clothes. So people didn't realize, like, they knew something was different. Until my mom was like, nah, we need to buy you new clothes. You don't fit in them. Obviously, you're not.
He wasn't aerodynamic.
I wasn't aerodynamic.
His shirt started acting like a parachute. He couldn't run no more.
And I mean, just the mentality changed for me, like when it came to fitness, And this is before I even touched a single dumbbell in my life. I was a cardio bunny. Now it's like, all right, I gotta run. I'll do it. I'm not the happiest, and like I know in the back of my mind, I need to get into that mentality. I need to run. I need to get to that point where I'm happy for running because I know what it brings. I know what you get out of it. But there's the thing about when it comes to anything like that you want, there's gonna be a huge mountain in front of you, and that's what I'm getting at. All right, there is this huge mountain that I had to just get over. I didn't like running, but I did it every day. Matter of fact, I hated it. I was just like, I hate this, but then I saw what it gave me. It became a discipline for myself. Those kids, after those 8 months of doing cross country and everything, and then they saw me in my shirtless, they're like, who is this guy? Who is this guy right here? And then they see who I really am. They're like, oh, damn. Hey, can you help me out? What are you doing to drop weight?
Do you guys remember this person in your life? And what I mean is the person that was willing to put in the work. He mentions high school. You guys remember high school? There has to be at least one person in your high school that made a significant change from freshman year to junior year.
Yeah, people don't recognize me, that's for sure. Damn sure.
At the end of the day, he was willing to put in the work. He was willing to make the sacrifice. I don't know if you guys realize this. We were talking about his brother who suffered cancer. And somehow we got to talking about his work ethic and the work that he put in. because of what he suffered, because of what he went through. I want you guys to be very real. The pain that you suffer is the reason why you're going to be successful. The pain that makes you feel like you're held back is actually going to be the reason why you're launched forward. But you got to be willing to push. You got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to adapt and evolve. Look, the whole topic of this.
Your comfort makes you uncomfortable.
Amen.
Uncomfortable situations builds, comfortability.
Weak men.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Weak men, weak women. Being comfortable creates weakness. You guys don't want to be comfortable.
You'll become happier when you face uncomfortable situations in your life.
And you do it
Let that
consistently.
resonate. Let that resonate. You become more happier when you deal with uncomfortable situations.
Woo! So what's uncomfortable right now? What do you need to deal with? Yeah, let's go. So look, we're ending this episode. We're gonna go get a tattoo right now, and we're gonna let you guys know straight up on our forearm. All right, what you truly embrace is what makes up your character. So what are you going through? What are you struggling with? What do you need to embrace? What do you need to hit head on? Like what's hitting you that you need to hit face forward? Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my pops taught me a very, very valuable lesson. He told me, don't you ever go down swinging. I'm sorry. Don't you ever go down not swinging. It's better to go down swinging than not go down swinging at all. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we were talking about baseball, and we were talking about swinging the bat at a ball. But what are you swinging at?
Exactly.
If you don't know, that's your problem. If you go, I don't know what I'm swinging at.
Just like my boy Eminem said, you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take.
Woo! Eminem said that. All right?
Ooh,
look,
let it
guys,
resonate.
take the shot. Take a risk.
Hope you guys liked today's episode. It was definitely a deep one.
What's Eminem's lyrics? You guys got one shot. That's all I know. Hey,
You got one opportunity.
no, for
Don't.
real though. For real. We got deep today.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
want you guys to go deep. Go deep. Robert talked about some very uncomfortable situations. So did I. I want you guys to dig deep. What hurts? What's uncomfortable? If you're not willing to face it, sorry. You need to go find an easier program.
If you think that this is something that
It's easy.
is easy,
We ain't gonna help
it's
you.
not.
We can't help you. You got to be willing to face it.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we shared our painful points. What's your pain? How are you going to grow? But look, on that note, let's go. Let me not say that 5 times through. Let's get our hands in here, and let's get a don't quit on 3, baby. Don't quit on 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't quit. Woo! Thank you guys for another episode of
Hey,
Real
don't
Fitness
forget
Talk.
to like, subscribe, all right? Also, give us a follow on our Instagrams, which is Phoenix of Fitness.
Phoenix of Fitness, baby, and we got
My Life Aesthetics,
My
or
Life
our
Aesthetics.
podcast, which is Real
Real
Fitness Talk.
Yeah.
Also, if
All
you
day.
really like this episode and you think it's going to resonate with other people, friends, family members, share this with them, all right? Make them watch this or listen to this, all right? If you feel like, hey, this point, like right here, these guys, they're real. We're being real right now. Like I said, let them know. Share this with the world. Share this with your family, your friends, your daughter, your kids, all that stuff.
Real Fitness Talk all day. Real problems. We solve them. I need you guys to share this and to be just as enthusiastic and as excited as we are. Look, we love you. All right, we need you to realize we love you guys. Spread some love back.
All right.
Drop a comment. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Rock and roll all day. Don't go night. Just make sure you guys are working on your goals. Let's get it. Woo!